Welcome back, everybody. I'm working with a really long firearm in a really kind of tight area. My workbench area is not the best for filming, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. As you know, I love my Mosin Nagant, and this is one of my favorites. This particular original, this is it's not an original style. This is the second style, actually, of the 1891 Mosin. You can tell the difference by the curved rear sight. The original sight would have been flat on the curved rear sight, but irregardless, this is still a unique firearm. In fact, these firearms are approaching the top end of the Mosin Nagant collector's world. It's an original configuration 1891, but it is also a Remington produced, an American produced Mosin Nagant with American black walnut and a very high build quality. And as a result, these are being caught up into collectors' collections now, harder to find, and the price reflects that too, depending on which version of it you have. There's several versions of it, and this is a fairly nice and pure version of it. So we'll go over the gun and the bayonet and various things on it. The bayonet I have for it is the early style bayonet, not the usual style you're going to see. And yes, it does have a sheath. This is probably an Austrian built sheath, original. So they did make sheaths for these. The Russians did not care for sheaths on their firearms. And you can see it is has the locking ring on it. Go ahead and pull it out. The sheath, yeah, they would have been carried on a German style. This is a Yugoslavian frog I had. Would have been on a German style frog similar to this. I don't have one available for it, so I just put this in for display purposes. But this is also not a Remington bayonet. You do see them pop up once in a while, but they're exceptionally expensive. But these are not that common anymore either. A little bit different from the usual spring-loaded push-button style you see, the hooks around the sight. These will work on any Mosin just as the other style will also. We'll lock it into place here. You can see that. A little out of the frame. Let me back it up here just a touch. But it simply slides around the sight and then twists a little, locks, then you throw the lock ring into place on it and you're set to go. But as I said, these are getting exceptionally difficult to find today too. When you do see them, you're going to pay a little bit for them. You can see, we'll zoom in and see if you can see. The light isn't the best in this corner where I'm at, but some Russian markings there. You can see the bow and arrow, the early style marking on it. So there we have it, a good Russian locking ring style bayonet for this Remington firearm. Wish it was a Remington bayonet, but we're working on that. The other accessory I have for it is the tool that would have been delivered with it. This is also Remington marked, as you can see, if we can get it to cooperate. It's a reversible screwdriver with the typical firing pin protrusion, notches on it, and takedown tools to disassemble the bolt. So there's our Remington style screwdriver tool for this firearm. And now let's get to the firearm itself. This is an all Remington firearm, and we'll just kind of bring it in and carefully do some close-ups on it so you can see We'll start with the funnest part, which is the Remington roll mark on it. Build date of 1917. A lot of history on these firearms, and I'll let you search that out. There's lots of fine videos explaining how the Russians defaulted on their contract for these firearms, and it nearly put Remington and Westinghouse out of business. The U.S. government got involved, bought the remaining firearms, and this could be one of those that was sold to the public. Many were absorbed by the United States military. If they have on the underside in this location a flaming bomb indicating the U.S. military, the value jumps probably almost double over what the value is on this firearm. Now, a 9130, as of the recording of this, is running you in the neighborhood of $300. The day of $80 Mosin Nagants is long gone. The price on this one is more than double that. These are in the $700 range. If that sounds extreme for a Mosin Nagant, maybe a little. But American firearms always carry a higher value, and especially when it's a pure 1891 version. And the reason I say pure is all the parts are Remington marked. I'll pull the bolt out real quick here. And show you what I mean by a Remington marked part. Remington, this is kind of a light strike on it, but you can see the circle R, and that'll be present, another one there, on almost every part on this firearm. There's a nice example there on the bolt handle. They will carry that circle R Remington. The firing pin has it. Virtually every part on the firearm will have that mark. Now, while this one does not have the United States markings on it, if it did, it would probably be, well, some of the nice examples of this with the flaming bomb military markings present on them are running in the neighborhood of, well, a recent one sold on Rock Island for $1,600, so you can see they do carry quite a bit of value. There's another Remington marker up here. These would have originally had a leather sling with them. This one is not, unfortunately, again, that hurts its value a little bit, a Remington sling. This is actually a German sling. I don't know if we can get the markings very clearly in it there, but there they are. A little bit longer, about 3 inches longer than your standard 9130, the 1891s. And one last look at the hex receiver with the Remington marks. So a very interesting and fun piece of American firearms history. The image of that interesting handguard with its triple rivets on it. Very pretty wood. So, thanks for watching. We have a bunch more Russian guns. I do like my Russian guns, and we'll take a look at those next. See you next time.